On tonight's show, we have all the Stadia news. Well, the big news, basically. Yep, Google is closing Stadia on January the 18th, 2023. Fact, end of. We'll examine the why, the fallout, and the implications, and the support for games you already have. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to talk about it. Yokoso, 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 sumimasen. Arigato gozaimasu. Welcome to the Stadia Monday Night Chat. That's what it says. Yeah, above the door. The Stadia Monday Night Chat, episode 129. 128 episodes, now 129 episodes of me telling you all the wonderful things about Stadia. What's coming up, the Stadia news, the games, and all of that. And boom, just like that. Well, don't worry, we'll have all the Stadia news. Obviously, Clive will be in the Stadia Monday Night Chat news studio as normal. Don't worry about that. Try and stay to the end as well. And I will be going into sort of details. I'll be giving one of my TED lectures. Welcome to my TED lecture about why I feel Stadia closed and why it happened so suddenly, and some of the kind of things around that. So we're going to be talking about that, and stay for the end for a few surprises and all of that. And if you're new here, welcome. I'd like to say we do this every Monday. Will we do it next Monday? Who knows, given the circumstances. But you're very, very welcome. If you are new, hit the subscribe button. And everybody, of course, hit the likes, because I like it, YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find wonderful, wonderful content like this. Right, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, the news is coming up. Have no fear about that. But first things first, got the housekeeping out of the way. Let's dive. I feel like a end of the tour moment here. So I hope you're ready for me to stage dive into the early bird chat, as we like to do on these occasions. Victor was in the house even before the doors are open, quite frankly, with all his comments. Victor's been here from episode 1, I'm pretty sure, and usually first in the comments. So Victor, yeah, who killed Stadia? Indeed. As I said, is it who killed Bambi of the tech world? Who knows? Christopher Torres there is waiting. He's always listening. Normally you're listening, Christopher. You're waiting and listening, hopefully. Jerome is another one. From day one, Jerome's been here. Lovely to see you. Hey, Jeremy, good to see you. Jerome is talking about his NVIDIA Shield here. However, they changed to Steam, and I got sick and tired of having to put my passwords in it. Don't like fiddly things. Jerome's right, hit the likes and all of that. I took a very similar path. I got into cloud gaming with GFN Beta, but left it when I sent to Stadia, as it was so much easier. Exactly. That is the thing. And I think many of us, it's a very good point, Jeremy. I think many of us, like, we already knew it, but when they take something away from it, the good things about it become very acute. Yeah, suddenly being forced to try other things, it's just not quite for me. xCloud, Xbox cloud gaming, I've tried it before. Have to try a bit more now. I've already done that. I've looked at it. If you've checked out my video, over 1,000 people have checked out the video I did about Xbox cloud gaming. Yeah, but it's just not quite the same as Stadia. Yeah, GeForce Now, it's a bit fiddly and all of that kind of stuff for me personally. Not really. More for the PC gang. That's fine. And I haven't really looked at the boosteroids and the black nut and all of that, but they don't really appeal to me. So yeah, but it makes you realize there was something wonderful about the controller, the ease, the app on the LG, all of that. So yeah, when you miss it when it's gone. Yeah. Who killed the last dinosaur? That's not a good analogy because it wasn't a dinosaur. It was like some future creature. I'm still working on a latency issue with GFN. Yeah, different people have different, different issues, don't they? Anyway, gosh, so many people in the crowd tonight. So if I skip some of your comments, I apologize. Yo, CV is in the house and Jerry is in the house. Internet of Games is there. Arcade Paradise. Are these games you've been playing? Hot Wheels. Hey, isn't there a certain irony about Hot Wheels? Yeah. Like it landed on the very day and it is probably one of the best ports. It looks amazing, Hot Wheels. The speed, graphically, it looks brilliant, especially on the old LG. It's just kind of rubbing salt in the wound. Lo-Fi, how you doing? Guten Tag, Barclay, how are you? Good to see you there. Kumnar is in the house. Chromecast Ultra is pretty much useless without Stadia. Well, I was looking on the my LG TV, how to sort of download Boostroid or Black Nut, and I couldn't see it. So I was a bit, oh, damn. And then I remembered I got my Chromecast. Oh, you're talking about Chromecast Ultra. Yeah, sorry, I was talking about my Chromecast with Google TV. Yeah, I suppose it is when you put it like that. Jamie Lee, how are you? Good to see you, sir. It's great to see everybody in the house. Make sure you do hit the likes. I really, really appreciate it. Ray, the gaming cyborg. And whoa! Vet Cloud Gaming is in the house and he's funding the arcade machine there. Wishful, can we raise enough money to buy that arcade cabinet? I'd be able to run all the cloud gaming services off it on a arcade cabinet. Imagine that. Raging from Belgium. Cloud. We've done CV. InLED. We'll be coming to InLED. Of course, we'll be coming to InLED. InLED has been the supplier, unwittingly, of graphics, data graphics to the show, and it's been very much appreciated, InLED. And I shall be adding to, I like to always add a little bit extra to stuff that I borrow. I stand on the shoulders of giants within the community. Sednar, how are you? Talking of giants within the community, all bow down to the wonderful, wonderful Four Scars Gaming. Quick word about Four Scars. Quick word about John. And I know he's popular. Curse him for being so damn nice. Oh. He's popular in the community, but his popularity goes beyond the community. His shows and his tweets are watched and appreciated by the Stadia team. Sorry, John, I don't care. I'm reckless today, John. I'm a bit demob happy. I don't care. The leaks are going to come out. Yeah, I'm going to be like a sieve. No, I'll try to be. But anyway, the point is, yeah, the Stadia team watch John's show. So all those interviews that he ever did with developers, they were watching. Because they've reached out to him, told him they were watching. Sonny got, I'll come to it later. Somebody tweeted Sonny, as a member from Stadia, saying, we really appreciate your stuff. Stadia watch this stuff, members of the team, because I think they really appreciated people being passionate about Stadia in the same way that you'll see. I'm seeing tweets now from various sort of Stadia employees and stuff like that really felt really proud of what they've done and achieved on Stadia, and obviously immense disappointment at what's happening. There's real passion in that team, and it's a real crying shame that passion's not been given enough oxygen to breathe. But we'll come to that anyway. But yeah, I'm cancelling my Pro subscription. Yeah, I had it wired up till December because of some special offer. But remember, cancel your subscriptions, because the nature of these subscriptions, you can't rely on companies to cancel the subscriptions for you. So if you are going to cancel your Stadia Pro, get in there, because you might be able to get your money back, but these things are automated and sometimes it's too late and the money's taken. So I would cancel it. I cancelled my Stadia Pro subscription. No, I haven't cancelled it because it's not due until December. But I cancelled my Ubisoft Plus because I only ever used that through Stadia. And I didn't really use it that much, to be honest. I only used it because it was, they supplied the lion's share of AAA games. So if I'm going to game on Xbox, there's lots of AAA games on the Games Pass without need of Ubisoft. So yeah, that's 20 between it. Yeah, over £20 saving. Stadia and Ubisoft Plus. Look on the bright side. William, how are you? Lovely to see you, sir. ER Gaming. Yeah, losing your progress is a big thing for a lot of people, isn't it? And that is an issue, and we'll come to that. It's good to see lots of publishers and developers sort of rallying around, because they were caught. They were blindsided. Everybody was blindsided, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. So, Serena, how are you? It is sad, sad times. Is that meant to be like Icarus? Zucarus? I apologize if I've mangled that. Oh, no, please save the tears. Gandhara's ordered a Steam Deck. Now, you see, I know loads of people ordered the Steam Deck and loved the Steam Deck. And I think that's part of one of the reasons. For me, I couldn't understand why Stadia wasn't embraced in the way it was. I just thought, like, wonderful future technology. I don't get it. I don't get why people aren't embracing this. But I think it's clear now, it's evidential, that the market just wasn't ready to be all in on cloud gaming, to be told, mate, the way you've gamed before, downloading stuff, all that, forget it. This is the future. Forget everything you know. People weren't ready for that. And when they announced the Steam Deck, I was like, what's the point of that? Who wants that? Surely you could just game in the cloud on a mobile device. Who needs a mobile computer to walk around with? What a ridiculous idea. I was wrong. That was not the zeitgeist. Judging by the amount of people who watch, Nerd Nest when they talk about the Steam Deck, the amount of people who get cited in Twitter I see, there's a demand for that halfway house, mobile gaming but without cloud, or mobile gaming with a bit of cloud. But I don't think the world, Stadia has sort of proved they were ahead of their time. The world wasn't ready to fully embrace on a mass scale cloud gaming. I still want to live in a world where it's just cloud gaming. And going forward, I will only game via cloud. This is not some sort of stubborn thing. I just find it easier. The idea of downloading and all of that, nightmare. Anyway, was a difficult hit. Scooterama, there's always next Monday, Clive. Indeed, who knows what's going to happen next Monday? Rock's always there to catch me. Hey, Crow, I'm going to rush through these people now because we want to get to the news, people. I think it's important. We'll always come back to you, but it's lovely to see Lukey 6. You're going to still be playing Dead by Daylight, Lukey? That's the question. That's why everybody's here. They want to know, is Lukey 6 going to still be playing Dead by Daylight, and on what platform? Sending out the love, Ray. Love my Stadia. It got me through a big part of the pandemic. Yeah. Whoa, Sergio subscribed. Thank you. Hey, N7 Spectres. Hello. Z, good to see you. Balls for life. Yeah, I think maybe we'll need Monday night therapy for a little while. Yeah, Monday night therapy. Andrew's saying there, I think a lot of people want to see their money in a form of physical games. I don't like clutter. I fully embrace the cloud. I love the idea of cloud. I'm not that bothered about ownership of things, you know. I don't mind technical things that help me do stuff, but yeah. Because you end up, you know, I remember like throwing away all my VHS collect. That's how old my VHS collection, my cassette collection, that went in the landfill. My mini disc collection, and my CD collection. I sold it. I uploaded it all to the cloud and sold my CD collection. Massive it was. Massive impact on Luna. Good question, Suarez. There may be a reason why Luna hasn't rolled out beyond the US. Maybe they're quite content to just keep cooking it. Yeah, keep baking it in the US only for a while. I don't think they're going to suddenly rush out because of what's happened to Stadia. If anything, they're going to keep it in the US oven for a little bit longer in my perspective, you know. But there we go. If Steam gets into the I think Steam has a lot of credibility. You know, they've done a good job with the Steam Deck and stuff like that. You know, it just wasn't for me, but it clearly, I mean, they've sold 1 million. I read today they sold 1 million. There is massive demand. I didn't really appreciate how popular the Steam Deck, you know, would be. Clearly, massive demand. Yeah, exactly. G-Cloud, exactly. G-Cloud is where it's at. Get with the program. Exactly, Meg. Exactly. Gem's in the house. This is great. Meg's in the house. Gem's in the house. Dave's in the house. Good old Dave. Stelios is in the house. And everybody's coming. This is so wonderful to see everybody. Mega Gem. Skillless going for a Series X. Oh, yeah. Good offer. Mentality is baffling. Well, yeah, people are collectors, aren't they? But yeah, you only end up... I still love having my CD collection. It's like, in a way, like I've got I'm pointing to my shelf, but you can't see it. It's invisible. In my real office, you know, I've got loads of books. I never read them anymore, but I like to have them on display. But yeah. But dated things like DVDs, see, you know, they just clutter. And then Blu-rays, no. My problem now is where I own games. I have free games. I've been claiming. I've got so used to the subscription mindset. I'm quite happy living in that subscription. I told my sister how many things I subscribe to, not just like cloud services, like you could subscribe to electric cars now. It's like everything's a subscription. That is the world we're living in, the way that corporate wants us to go. They don't want us, the man doesn't want us to own anything. They just want us to borrow it, to rent it. They don't want us to have any assets, man. Yeah, the corporate man doesn't want you to own anything. Hey, Mr. Bayron Plays is there. Cody is there. Daz, mate. Still miss the early days. It was a fantastic time. Lloyd, it was an amazing time. I love, you know, watching Stadia Cast with you and Bill. I think many, many people did, and we were inspired by that. You guys were like the first, the OGs, Lloyd. We loved it. We loved it. I'm going to subscribe to a house. Well, it's called Rent. Renting is subscribing to a house, Jem. Think about it. Right. On that news, ladies and gentlemen, on that, I think it's time for the news. For the final time, ladies, the last time, ladies and gentlemen, for the very last time, let us go and see Clive live. Well, he's not live, is he? Let's go Clive. Just pretend he's live. Let's go and see Clive live for the very last time in the Stadia Monday Night Chat news studio. Sorry? Sorry, it sounded like you just said for the last time. That's what I heard, yeah. What memo? You absolute mother... I apologize. I understand I must remain a professional and read the Stadia news because you deserve it. So here goes. Welcome-ish to the Stadia news on the 3rd of October 2022. Stadia appeared in the Division 2 Heartland fan kit. So it looks like the title will be coming to... Oh, it bloody won't, will it? Outright Games now, friend of Stadia until recently. Am I right? Yeah? Anyway, Outright Games announced Gigantosaurus Dino Kart, a fun family game coming to Stadia. Oh, no, it's not, is it? It's not, is it? Jackbox Party Pack 9 gets an official release date and it doesn't matter. Well, there's Hot Wheels Game of the Year Edition, and that version is a stealth Stadia Pro title and day one drop. So yeah, there's that. And of course, the big news of the week. Yes, the big news. They've only gone and done it in the most brutal way. Killed by Google, shot in the face. Like the Red Wedding. Oof. Brutal. In a blog post on Thursday, Stadia revealed it was closing down on the 18th of January, 2023. So that's it. I mean, what's the point? Yeah? What is the point? This hoodie, look, this hoodie. Yeah, used to light up. Doesn't light up anymore. Yeah, what's that? It's all nonsense, yeah? Just nonsense. What's the point of this charade I've been doing every week, yeah? It's bloody pointless. Get rid of that for a start. Yeah? And this studio, bloody studio I built, yeah? What's the point of that? It's all fake anyway, look. It's fake. Yeah? It's just me in the corner. Yeah, like down here. Every week. Pointless. I'm done. Finished. Yeah, I'm off. So I can do the rest of the show for all I care. Yeah, I'm done reading the news. Stupid thing. Done. Clive. Clive. What? I hope he's all right. Yeah, well, that's a bit awkward. So, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Stadia Monday Night Chat news. And what news, indeed. So, the closure of Stadia by Google. Yeah, they only went and did it, didn't they? Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, hey, Vet Cloud Gaming with another 10. Thank you, Vet. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen, shall we? Let's talk about Google killing Stadia. Okay, so for some time, no, for some, that's better. For some, it was inevitable. Yeah, it was inevitability. There's VetCloud Gaming. Thank you. I saw it come up there. I was waiting for it to come up. Where was I? Yes. So let's talk about it. For some, it was an inevitability. Yeah, Jem's a member. Appreciate that. For some, it was inevitability. For some, it was just a matter of time. For others, a surprise, as they thought Stadia had already been killed. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. They've been, and there are a lot of opinions, some less informed than others, but lots of opinions on why Google killed Stadia. But ultimately, what's the real reason, yeah? Let's talk about it. Jeremy, much appreciated. This is going to be pinging off now. Didn't realize that Jem has gifted 5 memberships. Wow. Get in there. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, an absolute 100% classic killed by Google. Yeah. Hey, thank you for the membership there, IOG. This is a classic killed by Google. One of the most brutal, to be honest. Whilst others have been mainly services or in very early development or just after launch, like Google Glass. Wow, all these memberships. Thank you, Kelef. Thank you, Inled. Awesome. Primo Yonic got one. Wow, amazing. Yeah, so I remember when Google killed Google Glass, but that was very soon afterwards. You know, after it was launched. I don't think there's been none quite as brutal in its execution as this in the killed by Google stakes. Sean L. Yes, lovely. Thank you for the membership. Google here, they figuratively ripped the kitten from the child's arms and shot it in the face. Well, the child or the kitten, I'm not sure, but it's okay because we get the value of the kitten back in sweets. For all the naysayers, the I told you so's, and those that wanted it dead, no one saw the manner in which this happened. Most of the Stadia team had no idea. They basically turned up to work at 8:30 a.m. for an all-hands-on-deck meeting, and boom, they were told. These were engineers who just delivered that week a new user interface. And, we'll come to later, we're on the verge of rolling out additional features. These were product managers who've been talking to developers and publishers about releases this very week. Developers getting final approval on games. I mean, one of the best ports we've ever seen dropped as a Stadia Pro title. And I'm talking about Hot Wheels Unleashed. One of the biggest game franchises of the year, FIFA 23, launched officially the very next day. And Dead Island 2 was coming in February. This was very much business as usual until the hitman from upstairs came in, Agent 47 like. Thank you for the that was IOG. Thank you for the $10, £10. Yeah, so look, Agent 47 came in. I knew there was a similarity between Agent 47 and Phil Harrison. You never see them in the same room, do you? Think on that, ladies. So look, sure, a small cabal-like elite team within Google knew, obviously, yeah, some very select from the upper echelons, maybe of the Stadia team, who were properly in the loop, but on a strict confidentiality basis, yeah, in order to work out the execution, unfortunate phrase, of the Stadia cancellation. You know, legal would have been consulted on its implications in terms of consumers and existing contracts. HR were there on marketing, on managing the staff, marketing and PR on how to handle the message both internally and externally. But other than this, like tiny, probably elite secret team working on a need to know basis, This, and we know this for a fact, blindsided the Stadia team. No question about it. No question about it. So yes, in this binary world where someone needs to be right and someone needs to be wrong, some people, ladies and gentlemen, some people, by default, thank you, Vet, some people were by default right. Yeah? Google killed Stadia. Can't argue with that. That's a fact. It goes on that list. It goes on that website. That's just reality. But like students guessing the maths answer to an equation but can't show their workings, or the broken clock that's right twice a day, doesn't make them a genius, doesn't vindicate them. Often for these people, the narrative was that Stadia would be wound down and left to wither. It would undergo a rebranding. But it was not winding down. Expansion to Mexico and Turkey was about to happen. New features were planned by the end of the year. I know this. Sources, genuine sources, including one bringing the idea of a simple link on YouTube and no sign up, etc. And those officially being listed in the search engines, which we'd kind of seen, was on the cards. And this was what I believe Eves from 100 Days, the developer, was talking about. A proper click a link to play distribution. Sources tell me that they were also, I'll tell you, I'm taking risks today, but who cares? Sources also tell me that they were in the stages of taking the next step beyond low change porting, which would be to virtually eliminate any porting time. One of the sticking points for many developers and publishers, Stadia knew this. The Stadia team knew, and the sort of top, not the top, maybe the top, maybe Phil did, but the day-to-day management of Stadia, they knew what Stadia needed to do, and they were working hard. I have this on good authority on ironing out these and evolving and iterating. And you know, the porting, they knew this was an issue. And there was a project to kind of make this even more friction-free, even more seamless. So in no way was Stadia being wound up or slowed down. It was trying to find its own way, iterate and evolve until the market was ready for it. Like the journey the Chromebooks took. Tom Warren quoted this in a Twitter conversation he had that I was involved in. And he talked about Chromebooks and how they sort of had a, you know, they were Chromebooks were scoffed at. Chromebooks were scoffed at in early days, had stumbles and missteps. But now Chromebooks are legit laptops. They're a major sort of source of hardware for Google and stuff like that. The market share is growing, etc. Chromebooks were given the time to sort of iterate and develop. But clearly, the market was not going to be ready soon enough for Stadia, or should we say for Google's liking in terms of, you know, profitability. So no, Stadia closing was the product of many, many things. Yeah. A combination of lots of things, and many people were right and observations, but it wasn't just one thing. But there was one chief thing among all of the things that made it, that maybe will give a reason or not justifies, maybe explains why it was so sudden. And that was the economic downturn. Fundamentally, that's what it was. Sundar Pichai announced that Google was going to undergo an efficiency drive like about a month or so ago. Yeah. Job hires were frozen. I believe savings of up to 20% across the company were mentioned as Google went through all its businesses, looking at where it could make cuts. When this was announced about a month ago, and I'll come to an article a little later, when this was announced, there was a part of me that had a momentary concern. I'm an optimist, and I'm never going to talk about the demise of Stadia. I'll say that I'll never say it was perfect. There was always things they could have done better. Of course, we could see that. Everybody knew it. I think Stadia knew it, and I think they were trying to do things better. But when Sundar announced, an efficiency drive across Google, there was a momentary concern. Not one that I was kind of really comfortable sharing. As I say, I've always been about optimism for Stadia as especially on this show, maybe too much so, but it was my optimism was a counter to the unwarranted and arguably warranted negativity. But there was a little tiny bit in my mind. I just assumed that Stadia would survive this culling process that was clearly going to be taking place. In no way I'm saying that I had doubts or saw this coming. Absolutely not. I'm not claiming that. I'm not saying the power of hindsight. Oh, I knew it was coming. I'm not claiming that at all. I'm just saying I raised an eyebrow, maybe. Yeah. A little sliver of doubt twinkled there for me, but I dismissed it. I thought to myself, if Stadia gets through to October, which was the cutoff date for this efficiency drive, I think Google's next quarterly meetings or for reporting their sort of quarterlies is coming up in October. If Stadia could get over that, get through this efficiency drive, then yeah, my faith in Stadia, my optimism in Stadia would be truly justified and proven and all of that, and I need not worry. Yeah. Well, Stadia didn't make it to October. So there you go. January the 18th, 2023. It's all over. Cloud gaming. In my view, cloud gaming takes a little step back, a little stutter. The world of cloud gaming has a sort of a stumble. The gaming world clearly was not ready for what Stadia offered, or at least Google did not back it enough, clearly, to win over the hearts and minds of a hardcore gaming market. Loyally tied to the masts of Sony and Xbox. Google wanted to be a disruptor. Yeah, that was what it was trying to be. It wanted to tell gamers, hey, you know how you've gamed the same way for 20 years, buying consoles, being part of the PC master race? Yeah, change that. That's all changing. And we want you to change now. Yeah. But Google didn't do that, did they? For whatever reason. And maybe they needed much more, backing, like to convince people sort of set in their ways. In general, gaming press were confused, scared, misunderstood the vision, or wanted to stay in their lane. To disrupt the market on the scale that Google wanted to do needs serious backing. It needs a vision. And it has to have that vision from the get-go. And to be honest, it did have that vision. That's why many of us jumped on board. The Stadia games and entertainment and all of that. But we know that initial execution, that vision didn't plan out how many wanted or expected. And that vision was eroded. And the backing from Google was reduced. But that's fine. To me, that was them realigning and saying, okay, the market may not be quite ready yet, but Stadia can find its own path and carry on iterating and evolving until the mass market is ready. So let's not throw billions of pounds in there now when the market's not ready for it. In a way, Stadia doing what Google does and iterating and evolving that's what it was doing, but on a much more limited budget. Just refining and adding and updating things. But it was not winding down. As I said, there was country expansion, new features, both for consumers and publishers. But sadly, it's not to be. It's just not to be. But, ladies and gentlemen, there is also another factor, maybe. And it's not just Google cost cutting and that's it. You know, in terms of the cost cutting, the new Pixel Book team at Google cut. Yeah, there was going to be a new Pixel Book. You know, we've got new Pixel phones, we've got new Pixel watches. There was going to be a brand new Pixel Book. That team cut. Area 120, the new sort of new ideas, early ideas development team, cut. Other departments are at risk that we may not know about at the moment. There are losses across the whole of Google, job losses across the whole of Google. So, yeah, severe cutting. Stadia was in the chopping block there. No. The question is, what happens next in terms of gaming and Google and how Google supports gaming? Now, I've seen a number of articles.
But I found these results on search.
Google Assistant still here. Stop. I've read a few articles here about no one will trust Google when it comes to gaming. And that kind of misses the point. General consumers, yeah, no doubt. I don't think if Google, you know, next year said, oh, we've had a rethink. Here's our video game concept now, repackaged or remastered. Yeah, no, consumers are going to be, whoa, wait a minute. Fool me once, fool me twice, you know. No. So general consumers, yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Apart from obviously things like Google Play, which has massive respect. I get it. Mainstream gamers will not trust Google for a long time. Plenty didn't trust them in the first place, but now definitely for a long time with any consumer offering. But the industry, yeah, those within the gaming business who use Google Cloud for their multiplayer games, the Google Cloud tools, companies like Take-Two who actually partner with Google Cloud to offer development tools for the gaming industry. And those that have used Immersive Stream, obviously the tech that powers Stadia, like Bungie, who relied on it to continue developing Destiny 2, Capcom with their Resident Evil Village demo, AT&T. Google Cloud has a variety of gaming industry tools, server support, and of course, cloud computing. That side of the business, I believe, still has trust in the industry. And in an odd way, with no more Stadia, that trust may increase. That thing about trusting Google Cloud with your gaming business when Google themselves don't have a video game business, that trust may increase. Think about it. If you're a massive gaming platform or a publisher looking to start its own cloud platform, say, and Stadia is no longer a potential competitor, then suddenly using the powerful resources of Google Cloud for your gaming needs becomes that little bit more attractive. So maybe, just maybe, one of the factors in the decision that Google made, aside from the economic downturn, is that Stadia potentially held back selling some Google Cloud services to big corporate gaming companies. Maybe Google's Immersive Stream stands more chance of having an impact on gaming and with gaming industry partners if Stadia is no longer a competitor to that company's business. Those big gaming companies, without the cloud resources that, say, Microsoft have in Azure, and who are competing with Microsoft and Xbox, maybe they can find a solution in a cloud company that's no longer competing with them for the same consumers. maybe, just maybe, as part of the business case for shuttering Stadia, is that Stadia was sacrificed for the greater good, yeah, of more viable and potentially richer Google business. I'd just say watch this space for clues or announcements from the games industry about any new partnerships and deals with Google Cloud. Could this usher in publisher cloud gaming platforms like Ubisoft Plus Cloud Gaming or an EA Play Cloud Gaming? Could other aspects of Google Cloud platform help support giant gaming companies competing with Microsoft, who, as I said, have Azure? Surely it must stick in the throat of Sony that they have to use Microsoft Azure for their platform, their main competitor's cloud platform. So, is the decision to kill Stadia that Google made the right one for Google business in the long run? Who knows? And it's just a theory that the spirit of Stadia may somehow live on through the gaming industry and its tech and the groundwork it laid. But not the consumers will be even aware of that. Not that they will even care. But its essence and its spirit will be out there, yeah, powering games and supporting game companies in some way or another. And I know that this doesn't help you and me as fans of Stadia. And it doesn't stop us as consumers from being angry or untrustworthy of anything Google does. But maybe, just maybe, I provided a little bit of context, maybe some logic, maybe some reasoning behind this harsh decision, hard though it is to swallow as a consumer of the tech. And take this final thought away. Although many of us watching this chose to be Stadia founders, like me, perhaps, consider this, perhaps in the end, we were not the founders, but rather the pioneers, making the way clear for the founders to come sometime in the future. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And hey, if you like that, hit the likes, because I like it. YouTube likes it. And it helps people like you find great content like this. As I said, there you go. Thank you. That was my TED lecture. I think a TED lecture, they only get 10 minutes. I'd be no good at a TED lecture. Too short. I hope you found that interesting. Let me know. As I say, put down the comments below. Do you think some of what I said makes sense? Do you believe it? And all of that. Anyway, there we go. 92 in the house. Wonderful to see. I'm going to take a drink of water now. Right. Let's just talk about, ladies and gentlemen, this downturn. When I'm compiling the show for the news, when Clive's not gives up on the news and all of that kind of stuff, what I do is I collate the news throughout the year, throughout the week, and then Clive writes it all up for his news show. And I just post it every time I see anything vaguely about Stadia, stick it on my Google Notes, But I don't really show you those, but I've just discovered, oh, more funding for the arcade machine. Thank you, Jerry. Much appreciated. Jerry Lennon in the house. Wow. Awesome. Anyway, I've realized I can make them quite colorful, so I don't mind sharing them on screen with you. Here we go. So, Pichai tells employees not to equate fun with money. So this is all about a couple of weeks ago, Sundar here had an all-hands meeting addressing employees' concerns about company cost-cutting measures. So this is real. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not making excuses. This is real. You know, they had expenses cut and stuff like that, entertainment budgets, potential layoffs, all of this, managing productivity. Even though Google has record profits and huge cash reserves, the point is about delivering a profit to your shareholders. So, and it's not just Google. Alphabet, parent company Alphabet, Meta, and other tech companies are staring into a slew of economic challenges, including potential recession, soaring inflation, rising interest rates. I think Alphabet, Meta, Apple all took a nosedive in terms of their shares. This is going to rub it in a bit here. This is why shares are important. This is last year. This is based on when they had a reasonable year, Google. In the UK, Google staff earned an average of 385,000 grand in 18 months, mostly from share dividends. Yes. So that's who, they're beholden to, isn't it? The shareholders, ultimately. And we're in a time of recession where they're having to, prove to the shareholders they can make cuts. And that's what they've done, even though they're super unpopular, these cuts. Check out the share price. This is thanks to Original Penguin here. Look, this was when Stadia... Yeah, was it? When was the date? No, this was just prior. You can see how the share price dived here. No, it was 29th. So this is when they announced. This was how fundamental it was. A sign that they were making serious cutbacks. There were serious economic issues. The fact that they killed, not that they wound Stadia down or they closed it, but the manner in which it took place is obviously wobbled the market. You can just tell that. Absolutely. No question about it. But in terms of how much of surprise it was, one question here, were they, so there was a big question about would Stadia make 100 games this year? So all those that bet that they would, obviously you've won the bet, or they wouldn't make 100 games. Well, you've won the bet by default. But just FYI, there are 61 games on the platform as of the 30th. So they included FIFA 23. InLed has included FIFA 23 here. Again, don't tell anyone. There were 30 games due by the end of the year. So they would have hit 91. So yeah, not that it matters, but those that bet money on it, word is they would have fallen short by under 10. But, we know things like Skull and Bones, maybe a couple of other got knocked out. But yeah, that's just FYI for those that are interested. Again, keep it between you and me. But I said it, how big a surprise it was. This guy, Tim Malaboyo here, works at Stadia. And again, this is him talking to Sonny. This is what I'm talking about. The Stadia staff, Stadia employees watch Stadia, many Stadia content creators like Sonny, like, Four Scars Gaming. I know I have it on authority that some watch my show. Thank you very much, those that know who they are. And this is Tim from, he works at Stadia, and he's saying, I've loved watching your videos over the past years. And he says, it's for folks like you we've labored for. The new user interface that launched the day before. So the user interface that launched only last week. And it was looking good. And it would have been in the news. This guy worked on it. And he goes on to say, thanks for the kind words here. Everyone's saying, we admire the work you've done, Tim, at Stadia. Everybody at Stadia, we appreciate the effort and the passion that you put into the project. We had more lined up. We were excited about. Stadia team were excited about the things that were coming up. This is from the horse's mouth. I'm not calling you a horse, Tim. I apologize in expression. Now, I don't know how reliable this source is. Kevin, at Gadgets Kev, Kevin, because you don't, I don't think you provide a source, but we'll go with it. But there's been people asking about what we're going to do. I've realized I've got more. I've got three unboxed controllers, and then another 3 odd. So I've got 6 controllers, but they're not much use really. You can use them on PC and things like that. Although I'm having problems trying to use mine for Play xCloud, but apparently you can. But I'm having issues. But one great thing would be to free this up, to open up the Bluetooth with a firmware. And again, I don't know what source this is from, but Kevin here is saying it is being looked at. As, Kevin, if you're watching this, let me know the source for that and how genuine that is. But that would be really, if the last thing they could do, the team could do, is just do a firmware update to make this Stadia a bit more controllable. I've tried with a long, nice wire, but my PC's not recognizing, but it's at my end. People have told me you can game with this. It would be nice just to kind of somehow look down at the little Stadia logo when I'm playing games on xCloud and just imagine I'm playing Stadia. I'm playing Halo on Stadia. But yeah, a firmware or update would be awesome. Really, really cool if we could get that. It's not part of the plan, but I think if enough people request it, maybe just at Google Stadia, everybody at Google Stadia, please release some firmware to make this viable. Don't know why I've switched that on by mistake there. Anyway, back to the notes. Okay, I do have an email here. I'm not going to actually, somebody posted an email that was sent to the Stadia team in the morning. I don't know how genuine it is, and I don't think I'm going to show that, but it's out there on Twitter. And to be honest, I've been in the same situation where redundancy has sort of come out the blue, and you sort of kind of know, because you start seeing HR walking around, going into meetings in your department, and you think, I never see HR around these parts. What's HR doing around here? They're like death, aren't they? They're like the Grim Reaper. HR in their tight suits. And what's the corporate lawyer coming along for? Not seen him in years or her in years. Yeah, always start worrying when you start seeing HR suddenly appearing in secret clandestine meetings, turning down the blinds. So I won't show that. But anyway, what about your games, ladies and gentlemen? What about your games? Let's go to this, actually. So what's really great is that Ubisoft, Bungie, IO Interactive, and Tequila Works. So remember, Guilt, which is from Tequila Works, is a Stadia exclusive. Yeah? Stadia exclusive. But Ubisoft, Bungie, IO Interactive, and Tequila Works are mobilizing to deal with post-Stadia fallout. So they are looking at ways here. So Ubisoft announced it is working to bring games you own on Stadia to PC through Ubisoft Connect. So you will need a PC. But maybe if Ubisoft Plus Connect launches as a cloud gaming platform, then you won't need a powerful PC. But it's some consolation, maybe, yeah, that Ubisoft is working on a way to bring games you own on Stadia to PC. Tequila Works CEO Raul Rubio confirmed that Guilt, the studio's puzzle adventure. It was wonderful, beautiful, beautiful early game on Stadia. One of Stadia's first exclusive titles will be ported to other platforms. Guilt on Xbox, PlayStation. Yeah, it looks great. And IO Interactive here, endeavoring to transfer game progress away from Stadia, including, this is other companies, including Hitman. Okay, they're looking to be able to, so that you can take your game progress, looking into it. So they're looking, no promises, but they're looking into it. And Destiny 2 as well with Bungie. So Destiny 2 Bulletin posted a message saying, we've learned about Stadia shutting down. This is, Destiny were tweeting about how they relied on Stadia during the pandemic to keep developing Destiny for all the platforms. Anyway, they've begun conversations, and our next step for players, we will announce and send out information regarding Destiny 2's Stadia accounts once we have a plan of action. So that's really great to see, and indicative of what a surprise it was for publishers, developers, and Stadia staff on the whole. So that's those lot. Have no fun. From space, have no fun. Yeah, Freudian slip there. Have no fun. From space, coming to Steam. Okay, so we were many people looking forward to From Space. It's coming to Steam. Stadians, get on in here if you can. We've had some rough news last week, but you're just as much as part of this journey. We were, as Stadia, they did a demo exclusively on Stadia for this. We had the previous game, but yeah, From Space is launching on Steam, so there's still hope if for those that play games on Steam and stuff like that, or get their games via Steam. So that's good. That's don't worry about that. That's Guilt. Look at this. This game, Luxor, was about to launch on Stadia. We were going to announce Luxor Evolved on the Stadia platform, but might as well announce that Luxor now is coming to Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation in early 2023. So yeah, it looked like we were going to get Luxor Evolved in glorified 4K glory on 4K systems. So Clive would have been reporting this game as coming to Stadia. Well, it's not now, but maybe it will be on your gaming platform of choice, Xbox, Switch, PlayStation. No indication of whether it's coming to Steam or anything like that. But look out for that. 100 Days fans. Eves on Broken Arms here, or Broken Arm Games for 100 days. We are creating a guide for you to move your save files from Stadia to the PC version, in case you decide to buy the game again on PC, and your progression will not be lost. Stay tuned. So if you're a big 100 Days fan, Broken Arms Games are trying to find a way for you to bring across the progress that you've already made on Stadia. So look out for that. Done Destiny. One more. Dead by Daylight. Lukey 6. Dead by Daylight. Stadia will be closing down on yeah, we know that. We plan to support Stadia users and continue to offer updates until the service has winded down. So Dead by Daylight updates will continue right up until January the 18th. No indication about game saves or progress, anything like that. Maybe they'll update us. Dead by Daylight, if you're listening, I don't know why you would be listening. Lukey, you're a big player. Reach out to them. Ask them maybe any stuff that maybe it works on cross save. I don't know. But anyway, all updates will continue for Dead by Daylight. And that's great to see. It's great to see, publishers and developers sort of, reaching out to Stadia players and trying to find solutions and things like that. I think that's really, really cool. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the main studio. I just thought I'd share all that stuff. very, very quickly. Let's have a quick jump into the studio, into the chat. I just want to whiz through what you guys have been saying. Wow, so much chat. Massive thank you to all the donations that I've had. Really, really appreciate it. Wow, I'm touched by how many people are in the show. It's been really fantastic. Right. Yeah. Sundar, he did. There were omens there, wasn't it? That was the first thing he said. Hello world of gaming. Hello. He went on GDC. Okay. The platform for industry developers and publishers, the gaming industry developers and publishers. He went on, the CEO of a company about to heavily invest in gaming, trying to convince the industry to come with them on this journey of the future, in this journey of disruption. The CEO of the company stood on that stage and went, I don't really play games. So Jamie, yeah, think about it. I've seen the rumor of big new gaming platform announcement at MBG this Thursday. Who knows? Lo-Fi, thank you. Yeah, Stadia team, devs and families. Hopefully a lot of the Stadia team will be redistributed, but it's never the same. You join a company. I've been through this experience. You join a company because usually you want to work for that particular department, or you've ended up in that department and you bought into the vision and the passion, which clearly we see from the Stadia staff members, you know, engineers, product managers, account managers. We've seen that. And so it must have been just kick in the nuts. Sorry to be gender specific. Whatever is painful on a female. Yeah. The equivalent of that as well. No, FIFA's still there. I doubt the board watches anything on YouTube or even play. Yeah, I doubt the board does, but the staff members do. I can imagine how they find the real problem. Work on something, no iteration and try, no image washing. Stadia should have used Unix code. Porting was going to be seamless, in my opinion. I think they had the right. I think they had the right approach. Had they backed it, had they backed themselves on it. But in the end, because they didn't back the overall vision and project on the level, I think that whole thing became a sticking point. And it became something I think that they had to kind of think, oops, we need to resolve this given our limited budgets. It's obvious the whole Stadia team got their mouth shut from management. They were present at all the charity streams and donate. They did. Well, they went, but exactly. I mean, shout out to any Stadia staff members. You know, my heart goes out to you. Thank you for watching. 750 billion, says Victor. Exactly. Maybe it was impossible to compete with Xbox and they didn't want to compete. Well, clearly, you know, there was that talk about seeing Xbox invest $78 billion in Activision Blizzard. That was basically, and I said it at the time, you can probably find my videos back. I said it at the time. I said it a number of times. That was basically saying, this is how much it's going to cost you to really compete right now on the same level as us. You're going to have to spend $78 billion now, at least, to come into the market at the level. And, you know, Stadia, well, we don't want to come in at that level. We want to grow slowly. But that must have sent like, whoa, shockwaves through the bean counters at Google. Clive said, I don't gaff. I'm being reckless and telling it all. He's 1,000% right on this info. Shame we didn't get to see it. They're never going to tell me anything again. You deserve to know. You deserve to know these things, you know, and also in a way you deserve to know that I'm not a man shouting, you know, man shouts at cloud, man shouts at sky. I'm not Dave down the pub what they call it in America. I'm not a Monday night quarterback or whatever they call it. Yeah, backseat driver. I sort of have my assumptions about the business and how it's going based on my experience in the gaming industry, my experience in entertainment business, all of that kind of stuff. I sort of started over the last few months to get it sort of verified in that kind of, if I'm right, blink twice kind of thing. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating because some of us, there's a few people had a little glimpse behind the curtain. Different people from different sources. So we knew it all meshed up. We knew it all matched. I wonder if they'll get the figures of how many were. Yeah, exactly. Probably not. Probably not. Somebody's shredding that information now, Xbox Nation. The main reason of using it is the reason why they can't make exactly. I get it. But I thought they had enough. I think they felt there's no licenses using Unix and that kind of stuff. Linux, sorry. There's no license, using other things. You need to pay licenses and stuff like that. And I think they wanted to create their own virtual console platform. And with the right backing, that's the right decision to make. Absolutely, I think. But in retrospect, in hindsight, if they'd known they were not going to back it at the level they did, maybe a more catchy, softly, catchy monkey. What am I saying? Softly, catchy monkey approach would have been better. And just saying, let's just use some sort of Windows kernel type thing or whatever. But that's not very exciting. They were trying to revolutionize the market. But yeah, there we go. I keep feeling Google are going to stealth drop something for Stadia. It doesn't. I know, Suarez. Yeah, what they're going to go? Surprise! only joking. No. I think it is very short-sighted. I think they recognized they weren't going to invest in it, but I think they were quite happy until the economic downturn to just reduce the scale, which is what we've been saying. Many people have been, I've been saying, look, don't expect them to compete with Xbox and Sony out the box anymore. They're just going to slowly reiterate until the market's ready. And I think, I don't know, without the current economic downturn, I think they probably would have survived and would have kept going and iterated, and we would have all been having fun. And we'd still be arguing with people on Twitter and people saying, it's going to die, 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 it's going to, oh, it's dead. Yeah, 3 months of a resurrection. It's the chosen one. You were the chosen one. Yeah, sadly, put down, shot in the face. Yeah, exactly. Pops out the casket like the Undertaker. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, I hate to break it to there. Look, you've heard it. When you hear it from a woman, it's over. No, but maybe we could just be friends. No, it's over. It's done. It's finished. Umnar. Do you know what, Umnar? I missed you on this show. But finally, Umnar is right. Nearly 3 years in the making, Umnar, and he's right. Absolutely. I don't understand how Stadia didn't make any money. Well, the point is, Gandara, is PlayStation and Xbox didn't make any money for at least 5 years in their business plan, apparently. Yeah? So I don't think it's a case of not making money. I think it's a case of not making enough money, or that little data chart, not the curve not being sharp enough. Yeah, I think that's what the main issue was. And in times of cutbacks, you look around at the, it's like the wounded wildebeest at the back of the pack. Yeah, when the hungry lion, when there's been a drought and food's been scarce, that lion is hungry. It's looking for the wounded creature at the back of the herd. And it's going, you. And unfortunately, if the lion hadn't been hungry, that little baby gazelle would have limped on and grown perhaps to a bigger gazelle. Yeah, made the right changes, made the right decisions. But sadly, the lion eats tonight. Woo, woo, woo. Anyway, enough of that. It's gone, dead, finished. Almost dead. It's unreal. It is. Well, is that how much you're getting paid, David? Getting money back? I mean, that's quite good, isn't it? But I think legally, Stadia have to, Google have to really just stamp out any legal claims. Definitely. Yeah. Don't say that. Don't say those words. Exactly. Last in, first out. That's often the way. Google is a machine run by algorithms, mechanized and technocratic. It's the ultimate. It's nothing it is nothing personal. Yeah. I think it has serious damage to Google's rep in general, to consumers. I think less and yeah, to a little bit to the moderately to the gaming industry in terms of publishers. But if you are thinking of getting the cloud gaming space, a competitor has gone. It is the Concorde moment. This is what I say, Anthony. Absolutely. I said to my son, in my lifetime, you could fly from London to New York in 2 hours' time. Yeah? In 2 hours' time. In his lifetime, it takes 5 to 7 hours, whatever. Yeah? Concorde was a beautiful thing, destroyed by an economic turndown. Yeah? It just couldn't generate enough business. And somehow we went, future's always on an upward curve, isn't it? Technology is always on an upward curve. But with Concorde, a beautiful thing, we went backwards. And I feel that about cloud gaming slightly. Not backwards, but a stumble of what could have been. Where's the pressure on Xbox to make xCloud 4K? Yeah, where's that pressure really? We Stadia out the way. I commend them for refunding. Absolutely. They have to do it though. Rock tweeted something that shows Google Play games using similar advertising that Stadia had. Yeah, I saw that. But look, I'm going to do you all a favor. A few people have been tweeting about, oh, maybe they're going to roll out a use immersive stream on Google. Get that out of your minds. That's not happening. It's over. Google Play is something completely different. The only warranted negativity was those who simply didn't trust Google. Anyone doing over the top ripping of the platform, claiming Stadia was useless. Yeah. You just have to look around the industry now. Now it's gone. Oh yeah, now it's gone. I saw Tom Warren write a wonderful piece about how he'll miss Stadia. And on his Twitter conversation that Tom Warren of The Verge, although The Verge also, somebody else from The Verge did a horrible, horrible article, unnecessary, uncalled for. But loads of people, even Gene Park. Remember Gene Park from the Washington Post? The original, look at the latency as I tried to play it on my office network, not realizing that that's the most ridiculous thing to do. And then apologizing a little bit later, not that anybody read that. Anyway, even he was sorry to... I saw Lou from, the big YouTuber. What's his name? You know, unhappy about the demise of Stadia because the tech was amazing. The tech was wonderful. And now people are coming out going, you know what, actually, we kind of miss it now. Forget the business model. Forget the memes. It was pretty good. Too late now. You've killed it. You killed the last unicorn. Yeah? Maybe I'm over exaggerating. You only killed the golden bloody unicorn. Sundar calls me tomorrow and says, will you want Stadia back to the stadiums? Yeah, sure. Upper management didn't want to disrupt anything. Absolutely. Or they weren't willing to back it necessary. Because it's quite a big thing to disrupt an industry. You've got to spend big, and especially the gaming industry. I mean, I've said it before, Xbox 360, when they had the Ring of Death, and this is documented, they had to go to the head of Microsoft and said, we've got a real problem. The launch, we completely snafu'd the Xbox 360 launch, completely fudged it up. And now we got this Ring of Death thing. What are we going to do? We can either just call it a day and say, no, gaming's not for us. This gaming malarkey's not for us. Or we can do something. And the head of Microsoft at the time said, how much is it going to cost to sort out the Ring of Death issue? And he was told $1.8 billion. And the head of Microsoft said, fudge it, do it. Here's a check for $1.8 billion. Go sort out the Ring of Death problem. And the rest, 20 years later, whatever how many years it is, Xbox is history. That is the kind of level of thinking, of spending, if you're going to come into the gaming industry and do it disrupting the market. And the vision was there. The investment potentially was there because they set up SG&E. They hired the best minds to run their first party studios. But as soon as they got the collywobbles and closed that down, they had to pivot their business. Like I've said, and M2K said, and they pivoted their business. And I was fine with that. Let's go on the low key. Let's just go slowly here. But yeah, it never really covered. They would have had to spend so much money. Yeah, that's contract issues here, Zarina. They're not a charity, but hopefully the contracts will have some kind of mitigation within them to some degree. But yeah, there are some smaller developers that that's money in the bank that they're no longer going to get in the bank. All those that have Stadia Pro titles no longer reaping in. I mean, there have been I've not played Stadia I played it, yeah. I showed my son Hot Wheels, but that's it. I can't bring my heart to play it. And I'm sure many people have the same sentiment. I think the player base is just going to go off a cliff edge from now. And that's Stadia Pro revenue lost to a lot of small indie developers. And that's a crying shame. In fact, just play Stadia Pro games, if only to support small indies. We were massive beta testers. Yeah. And it was just an advertising tool, a demo to show, yeah, immersive stream worked. They proved it. They proved they could put a man on the moon. Yeah. But NASA soon stopped that, didn't they? Because of an economic downturn in the early 70s. They stopped sending people to the moon in 1972. And how many, 50 years later? They're going to go back to the moon. I thought you had gone missing forever. Yeah, they were never fully committed, but I still had faith that that's fine. Change the business model, pivot, all of that. I was fine. Sundar might lose his job. You never know. If they don't perform, the pressure from the shareholders might be on him. Yeah, didn't get the games I wanted. It'll be interesting what happens. My Google Play for Games app on that does show a tab for TV games. So there's that. Exactly. You can play mobile games. They're very different worlds, but yeah. Yeah, MM2K was sick. We'll let him off. Yeah, nothing quite feels the same as your first love of cloud gaming, you know. But they'll do. Never make do with a girlfriend. They'll do. You'll do. Yeah. Be wary of rebounds. Maybe they'll take your time, like I did in my life. Take your time. Don't go on the rebound. They may integrate Stadia and Gmail in a galaxy far, far away. You've got mail. Exactly. Let me whiz through these. I'm not ignoring you. I just want to whiz through. just whiz through some of this chat. Let's clear that there. That might have sold, but it wouldn't have moved the needle like Stadia. Simply the end of moonshots in a mini dark age. Yeah. In the age of economic downturns, it's the moonshots that get shot, or the launches that get postponed or killed. If the tech had been sold to other companies, I'd have happy the tech didn't die. Yeah, the tech is so good. It is so good. They are missing a trick if they don't capitalize on it, but I'm not convinced it will be a simple white label. I think elements of it will be integrated into other aspects of Stadia. Elements of it will be used in some cloud support for other game companies and stuff like that. But maybe we won't see that pure white label of immersive stream. I hope we do. I hope we see an Ubisoft Plus cloud gaming or EA Play cloud gaming. I'm more than ever into Xbox. I am. I have no choice. Stadia's gone. So I considered Xbox cloud gaming, for my needs, the second best choice. Well, with no Stadia, by default, for my gaming needs, it becomes the best choice for my particular needs. So I'm with you there, Xbox Nation. Watch this space. Sony Microsoft duopoly is sus. Indeed it is. Test subjects. Right, let's get through down here. 100% people don't give any respect for Phil Harrison, but without him, we would never had Little Big Planet. And he's the man at the top. He's going to get the things, but you know, it was above him that he was brought into the office and told, oh, by the way, we're cutting your budget, close SG&E. It wasn't Phil's. I doubt very much it was Phil's idea to close SG&E. I doubt very much it was Phil's idea to shutter Stadia, but he didn't have a choice. And as the general manager of Stadia, it's his role, it's his pay grade to do the killing, to do the dirty work of the corporate upstairs. That's the way it works. Yeah, they definitely, I think hindsight's a wonderful thing. And I think we all knew they stumbled out of the block. They could have done things better, but that's not to say it couldn't have succeeded in a Chromebook kind of world, just iterating, as I've said. They should have focused on the porting much earlier. Yeah. Once they realized it was, once they realized perhaps they closed SG&E, I think maybe they should have been on it. I mean, they did improve it, but more aggressively. The tech in me loved it was on Linux. Yeah, something not used in gaming. But it was slow to port. Boosteroid short term. Not tried it yet. Yeah. 30 games at launch. Exactly. Oscar Marquez, very right. 91 games roughly, but not 100. Confirmed. Chrome browser wired for me. Now, Jerry, I'm playing through the Xbox gaming app, not through the browser. Maybe if I try through the browser. But I do think it's my PC that's having an issue with the Stadia controller. Lack of returning franchises, yeah. That was a big kicker. It was, you know, Take-Two basically taking the money to be one of the early publishers on the platform. Stadia threw lots of money at those people. They had to get all the games in the first year, and then hope that it would have gained enough traction that they didn't have to throw money at people to convince them to bring their games to this new platform, because the platform would justify itself. But Take-Two, obviously, and EA to a certain degree were like, nope. Unless you're going to, it's clearly not giving me the sales I need, and I ain't bringing my game back to your platform unless you give me more money again. And that wasn't happening. So yeah, that was a crying shame. They aren't doing that. That's why you're getting refunded. It's going to be useless. Word in the street. Are you talking about the the firmware. Word in the street, and I don't know. I'll try and find out, verify whether they are. You know, they might decide won't be what they planned, but whether they do a firmware. It's not a custom wallpaper, Gem. You can add pictures to it. So what I did is I added the Stadia logo, my Stadia News logo, and there'll be a little teaser or something else later. Right, let's get through to the bottom here. So many questions. Hey, Foso and Elsa. Luna should get paid games and then channels. Yeah, that's the thing for Luna. Paid games, because they're not going to get the big games. Ah, that's my problem then. It does not work through the Xbox app. You need to use the browser. That's what it is. People have been saying it works. So I use, use Edge, Microsoft Edge browser. I'm thinking I'm not using the browser. I'm using the Xbox app. Yeah, no more Mafia 1 and 2. Yeah, maybe it comes out on Tuesday, Mafia Tuesday and all of that. Yeah, GTA 6 with real maps, data mapping. Well, Take-Two are in bed with Google Cloud. They have a multi-platform cloud tool and stuff like that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, wow. There we go. What a show. All I can say is stay for the credits, like any good Marvel show film. Stay for the credits. My heartfelt thanks to everybody. We had over 90 people in the house tonight. Amazing, amazing show. Thank you. We've got 71 still here. Thank you, everybody who watched. Thank you, everybody who joined the memberships. Thank you for sharing memberships. Thank you, Vet, for the membership sharing. Thank you for all the monies and all of that. That arcade machine fund is going up. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, Stadia week if you want, or Xbox Game Cloud, whatever you want. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Stay for the credits. I think you'll enjoy it.
Only is it the last show of the tour. Everybody, this has been one of the greatest tours of our life. We really, I'd like to thank the band. I'd like to thank our road crew, and I'd like to thank our lighting people. Of all the shows on this tour, this particular show will remain with us the longest, because not only is it the last show of the tour, but it's the last show that we'll ever do. Thank you.